This is Brett Endies, professional dog trainer. So I always talk about with my CALM system of dog training, there's two factors that I'm working on. Number one is just basic conditioning, getting a dog to make calmer responses to replace ones that are reactive, or just replacing one behavior with more appropriate ones, correcting and rewarding as needed, laying a foundation of more structure, and getting a dog to be conscious in the moments where they're struggling to even just see things for what they are, right? When they're not overreacted, overstimulated, a dog can see things, and then again you reward that calmer, more conscious response. And then there's a leadership element. There's an instinct for dogs to follow a leader. There's a reason why dogs listen to certain people differently, because of the potential to be in that role. And a leader is sometimes misinterpreted as something that's a threatening, physical kind of way to implement, and it really isn't. It's really just having a plan, creating those first factors where your dog is learning how to check in, make calmer responses, and feel order and better behaviors that are easier for them to manage in appropriate ways based on what's actually happening, not their over-under reactions. And a leader is someone who helps them do that on their own, because dogs are on this. I did a video yesterday. Dogs are in this realm alongside of us for our guidance, and if we don't guide them properly, unfortunately, they can struggle. And that leads into kind of a third thing that I don't talk about because it's sometimes misunderstood or scares people, or people start thinking I'm wacky when I talk about it. But there's a cosmic element here. So Thomas Campbell was on Joe Rogan, and he talked a lot of this, but what he says, and I kind of feel that way, in part, that this is like a virtual reality game, and we're just playing it. We have to be able to kind of navigate the mind. And what he talks about is meditation, and I've done that in Buddhist philosophies and other similar, just ways that you kind of calm yourself and kind of just clear your mind. The more you can clear your mind, the more you can go to places where you can kind of control almost like what is physically and just what life is in front of us, where there's you can have a plan for it, both in this, and they say there's other dimensions, if you will. And I don't want to get too into that. I mean, he's a pro at that, and that's what he does. He's a physicist, I think, and he's just studied this through years and years of meditation, and it is kind of like building a muscle. But what happens is, and they've studied, I've talked about this, where they've done studies, and maybe I'll repost some of these, where they've done, I guess it would be MRIs, or whatever measures the brain activity of people, and they did it on Buddhist monks, and they have more of a steady synaptic activity when put under stress. It's kind of interesting how it's like they train their brain how to kind of, and I'd assume that what it does is, and what Thomas Campbell talks about, is removing that layers of false reality that can give us anxiety and a non-happy condition, and to find kind of the love and the happiness and that just kind of thing that really what everything is as far as information that we tap into, and us and other living animals are just kind of extensions of it, but we're all connected through that. It makes sense when he explains. I'll sound like a wacky person going too off on that. But with animals, again, that single pointed focus, that feeling of calmness, steadying their mind, and then carrying that over to real life even when they're not being trained, is definitely a factor. A dog that's getting daily regimens of training, a person who does daily meditation, is definitely going to be able to navigate their regular, ordinary lives better, obviously during meditation time, but even after the fact. So just like a little point, I'll try to talk more about it. I'm going to read more of his books and learn more about what he's teaching, so I can articulate it better, and myself obviously learn. And I got to get more into meditation too, because he said it takes 25, 30 years to do that. And man, how much time you got left, and the brain kind of gets less sharp. Dogs, it's different because their life isn't complicated. They rely on us. So if we can just get that single-pointed focus to create an instant leadership, a calmness, a state where they're kind of on the matrix, or in the matrix, in the right kind of wavelength, they're in the they're playing the right frequency. Sorry, there's a lot of traffic. It really just helps them feel through our presence, and just through how this regular world classical conditioning theories do seem to work and play out the right way. It just kind of all complements itself in a very holistic way. Okay, have a great day. Train your dog.